We welcome you into the Northstar Network on YouTube for today's broadcast of varsity field hockey. Today, we have the 6-2-1 CNS Northstars coming off a 1-0 win over the Baldwinsville Bees, taking on the 0-11 Auburn Maroons. And Auburn's last game was a 1-0 loss to the East Syracuse Minoa Spartans, I believe they are.
Yes, they are the Spartans.
Yes, well, I'm Killian Heffron, joined alongside by my color commentator, Joey Cox. And Joey, obviously senior night, so might be a couple of high emotions here as we go into this first quarter. Now, Auburn sitting here at 0-11. What do you think they have to do to come in early and really just get CNS, just force them into a bad position?
Well, I mean, like you were talking about earlier, Killian, as we were discussing prior to the game, but really the North Stars, they like to come out on top early. They like to come out swinging, come out really with a lot of power to start off the game in that first quarter. So the Maroons really need to put the hammer down early, and they need to shut down the North Stars early, because if the North Stars can get that momentum going like they usually do early on in the game, then it can really get away from the Maroons.
Now, Joey, we were talking earlier, and I mentioned that the North Stars kind of have two modes to start the game. Sometimes, like you said, they are on top of it, playing really really strong field hockey early on in the game, but other times they're just kind of not there. And really, I think, Joey, here, you can tell me what your take is on this, but the North Stars here, if they have one of those starts against this Auburn team, that could spell disaster for them.
Oh, I mean, definitely. Now, you got to look like, for instance, the North Stars have been known to play down a little bit to some of their competition, and that's really been the North Stars' struggle. Now, some of the times they do come out on top. I mean, their 6-2-1 record does kind of show that, but you got to look at that one tie, Killian, and that was to the FM Hornets, who really struggled all this season, and they come away with a 1-1 tie, and that game kind of came down to the later minutes, and really, Killian, the North Stars couldn't find their footing early on, and that kind of led to some struggles in that game. So the North Stars got to remember, they got to keep the same strength, they got to keep the same resilience, they got to keep the same drive that they have versus every opponent, even versus an 0-11 winless Auburn Maroons here. They can't play down. They have to pretend they're playing the undefeated Auburn Maroons.
Now, here, as these teams will go through their starting lineups, I'll wrap this up by saying, back in that FM game, Joey, the North Stars, they were really stumped by the FM goaltender. CNS had 14 shots on goal, but were only able to score one time. And really, getting shots on goal in general seems to be a slight problem for them, as in that their game against the East Syracuse Minoa Spartans, they also struggled to put the ball on goal, only scoring one goal and winning that game 1-0. But with that, we will see here if the North Stars can successfully improve the 7-2-1, or if Auburn can find their first win on the season. We will be back here on the Northstar Network briefly on senior night here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium. Do not go anywhere.
That's 2 points. And now to the timeout. Junior grade, Michael Hodgson. Sophomore number 9, Auburn. Junior number 10, Zoe Kelly. Senior number 11, W.L. Warner. Junior number 12, Naz White. Sophomore number 13, Johanna Hughes. Junior number 16, Alexa Grant. Sophomore number 23, Mia Boyd. Sophomore number 24, Rex Moe. Sophomore number 29, Mike Freeman. And freshman number 2, Suhai Anderson. Winner of the head coach, Allison Peacock. Now playing 2 from the box, Sarah. Sophomore number 1, Hey, Hey, go! Sophomore Hey, go! Junior 9, C.C. Morrow! Senior 9, Out, Heffron! Sophomore number 19, AC Normandy! Playing midfield, sophomore number 5, Sophie Normandy! Sophomore number 16, Mia Rio! And junior number 22, Molly Radford! Playing defense, senior number 12, Mia Follow! Junior number 13, Zach Morrow! And senior over outside, sophomore number 66, Lee Party! Those people that have a company to that Olympics. Please, to the sideline.
We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network on YouTube. It is a very rainy day for some field hockey. We got some lake effect rain showers coming off of Lake Ontario. And Joey, now I do want to briefly go into these lake effect showers a bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just explain why it's going to be pouring here at the beginning of the game. Lake effect storms, they tend to be very moisture heavy, which means you're going to get a lot of precipitation, in this case rain, out of them. And that's also why lake effect snowstorms are so intense. So we can expect some pretty slippery field conditions here early on this game, hoping the rain will clear out. But I mean, from the trends I'm seeing on radar, it looks like we'll be dealing with this rain for at least the first quarter or so.
Yeah, and Killian, like you were saying, it's going to cause some slippery conditions out here in the field. And I think it's going to be a struggle for honestly both teams. The North Stars, you look back at some of their games, they've had trouble in the past with possession, just really forming big offensive plays and keeping control of the ball. I mean, that's really a trend in field hockey in general. It's a tough sport to maintain possession, and we'll see if the rain makes it even harder.
We are underway in this one. CNS in their home blue will be shooting from left to right from the perspective of the camera. Auburn in their road white will be shooting from right to left from the perspective of the camera. As this comes forward, it's picked up by Normandy. Normandy tries to make on moving it. She'll be played a bit of a obstruction violation there in Auburn. This comes around towards the middle, played by Emma Van Beveren. Van Beveren, one of the seniors leaving CNS following this year.
Yeah, she's committed to Montclair State University in New Jersey, where she'll continue field hockey, and then she's also going to be looking into exercise science and pre-physical therapy as her major.
We'll get a free hit here for CNS. Comes down low to Garuccio. Garuccio to the middle. That one will bounce out of bounds, and it'll become Auburn possession.
Kind of an awkward hit there, Killian. I mean, it looked like, I don't know if it got an awkward roll, awkward bounce, not quite sure, but I'm wondering if maybe the wetness has affected some of the hitting conditions as well.
That comes up. That'll be nearly intercepted by a Northstar. Pushed up forward. That's Zoe Camilleri, who made a play on that. Comes up to Gabby Garuccio for the North Stars. This will be poked at and go out of bounds. Possession will retain with CNS. And it'll be Mia Leone to inbound it. Leone fires it down to Garuccio. Garuccio to the middle, played by Norman Lee. Norman Lee turning, shooting one.
Oh, man.
Goes across the middle, and that goes out of bounds. We've talked this in the previous broadcast, Joey. Or I don't believe you were there for that.
I don't think I was.
But Izzy Norman Lee's reverse hit's one of the most dangerous weapons that CNS has offensively, and it certainly contributed this year to her really intense goal total. 7 goals on the year for Izzy Norman Lee.
And only 9 games for the North Stars so far. I mean, we were talking about it earlier, Killian. I mean, the Auburn Maroons have played a lot more games compared to the North Stars, so it's definitely a little bit more experience for the Maroons, but hasn't stopped the North Stars, especially Izzy Norman Lee.
This gets deflected forward. Sent to the middle, nearly intercepted there. It's going to be taken back by Moreno. Played forward. And now there's Norman Lee with her signature reverse hit that flies wide. It'll become Auburn ball.
I mean, I could see what you're talking about, Killian. Deadly shot there. I mean, she had a lot of speed behind it, especially in these wet conditions. That might have contributed to the deflection.
Deflects and they score. It's going to go off number 24, Grace Malone, and bounce in. That's Izzy Norman Lee with her 8th goal of the season for CNS.
So we're just talking about her, Killian. She's got a hard shot, and just a few plays ago, she shot one just a little right. Maybe was contributed by the slippery conditions, but there she has no problem getting that one in. But you were saying it deflected off one of the Maroons players, number 24, you were saying. But, yeah, I mean, that's just a hard shot, especially one to keep out of net.
So CNS will pick up their first goal early on in this one. Brought forward now. This is Norman Lee again. Carries it to about the 30. Will make a move, hits it to the middle, picked up by Garuccio on the side. Garuccio cuts, fires one in the middle. It's loose in front, and they score! It's Emma Van Beveren, 2-0 CNS.
And the North Stars score 2 within 30 seconds of each other.
And this is the dangerous offense that we've talked about here for CNS that they're capable of doing. We saw it when they played against Baldwinsville, scoring 2 goals in pretty quick succession, one off of a corner and one off of just regular play. But CNS certainly has a very dangerous offensive attack, and it's really coming in handy right here early on. Now, Joey, if you're Auburn here, what do you think the response is?
Just keep the ball out of North Star's hands, or should I say sticks, but really just, even if you're not putting together any huge plays, keep it on the left side of the 50. You really can't let the North Stars put together any huge offensive plays in their offensive half. And right now we've seen dominant possession over on the right side of the field, and it's proved costly for the Maroons, and it's proved successful for the North Stars, up 2-0. So really just keep them out of the offensive zone as much as they can, just like in hockey. Just try to clear the puck, in this case the ball, and keep it out of danger.
If we could talk about the North Stars defense for a minute, CNS in their last 6 games has only conceded 1 goal.
Wow.
Every one of their last 5 wins has come in shutout fashion, with their largest win being 3-0 over Baldwinsville, and smallest wins coming 1-0 over ESM and Baldwinsville again on Monday.
Yeah, that crown, Killian, with the largest win being 3-0, could easily be taken here today, as the North Stars are already up 2-1 here in the first 5 minutes. 2-0, I mean.
Played around down low. That's going to go out of bounds. It'll become, I believe, Auburn possession. And yes, it will. So Auburn will take it from the 15 and drive it up. That one bounces over a couple CNS sticks. Marley Renford back to play it. Renford looks up. Pass got blocked there by Gabrielle Warder. Warder with one of Auburn's goals on the season. This will be driven up, intercepted by Warder, handed off, and now here comes Auburn into the offensive end, playing it from the right side, sent to the middle now. Opportunity for CNS if they can, or excuse me, for Auburn if they could get to it, but the North Stars will take it away. Looks like it fired up, intended for Van Beveren, but it'll go out of bounds and become Auburn ball. Be inbounded from about the 32-yard line. Sent down to the middle. Now it'll be picked up and brought back the other way by CNS. That ball's blocked by, I believe that was Norman Lee. Now it comes up and bounces out of bounds yet again. So Auburn starting to get it more into the CNS end.
Starting to develop some plays here, Killian, but really what's been the story here, the North Stars defense just getting a lot of takeaways here, but they're not able to move it downfield. You know, maybe the conditions are contributing to that, but what's been happening is, you know, they've been able to get the ball out of harm's way, but not able to move it downfield offensively themselves.
That ball's nearly intercepted. Now it'll be played forward. This is Norman Lee, already with a goal in the day. Has help coming in Moreno. Norman Lee makes a move to the right, loses possession, but then regains it back. It'll be CNS ball. And they'll leave it for Mia Leone, the sophomore. Leone fires it into an Auburn foot, and Auburn will take possession. It'll be driven up, intercepted by Leone. Leone drives it forward. Norman Lee's pass over to Moreno, who then tried to pass it to Gruccio, but the pass is just too far ahead. It'll go out of bounds and become Auburn ball. That ball's fired up, tipped by Gruccio, played by Leone, and now it'll be taken out the other way by Auburn. Sent up, that was number 11, Gabriella Warder, on the drive there for Auburn. Camilleri tried to make a play on this. Now it'll be fired across. Pass intended for Haley Pangaro, but it will go out of bounds.
Well, one thing I got to say, Killian, here, Auburn defense has looked much better in these last 4 minutes after the 2 quick goals by the North Stars. But the North Stars defense just is dominant. Really, they haven't allowed a single shot on goal yet this game, and that trend looks to continue.
North Stars here preparing for their first substitution. That ball is driven forward. It's going to be legally allowed to be played. It'll roll out of bounds, however. North Stars ready to make their first substitution. This will be Gabby Gruccio coming out for Kyla Heffron.
Hey, look at that, Killian.
So the sophomore comes out for the 8th grader. And Kyla Heffron started her first ever varsity game on Monday against Baldwinsville. I believe she had a shot on goal at one point. Granted, I had 2 hours of homework I had to do after that, so I really don't remember too much about that game other than they won, and Mia Ferrone scored the goal. That brought CNS that victory. Now, Baldwinsville went on a pretty big tear. They upset Little Falls, who granted is not in the class CNS is in for sectionals, but still one of the better teams in the section. And they were constantly winning games after their first loss to CNS, and then the North Stars kind of just came in and beat them on their home turf. Played around down low. Cavrielli looks to the middle. That's nearly intercepted, and it comes back the opposite direction. Leone fires it up. That's played by Van Beveren, and it'll just roll by her stick and come out the other way. Now it's brought forward. Here's Van Beveren from the left side. Hits it to the middle. That's Norman Lee. Norman Lee makes a move, turning. Norman Lee, he will turn around, shoots one, deflected, and no, they score. And I don't believe that was actually deflected. I believe that's just going to be Izzy Norman Lee on the goal. I don't know why I said deflected. We'll see who they give it to, but I believe that's Izzy Norman Lee, as Kyla Heffron didn't react like she would have had that ball made contact with her stick, but that's going to be Izzy Norman Lee, and yes, so it'll be confirmed there by our PA announcer, Daryl White. Norman Lee's got her 2nd of the game and 9th of the season, and once again, Joey, it was on that powerful shot.
Yep, like we saw in one of the earlier goals. Now, granted, this one more accurate than the other one. Again, slippery conditions probably affecting her shot a little bit, but that shot, it's got so much speed behind it that even though she did hit it into a defender and it was deflected into the goal, even someone with sharp skill, somebody who's always thinking on their feet with the speed of her shot, I mean, that's almost a guaranteed goal, even though it was deflected off a player.
That takes a deflection and rolls forward. Played by Pangaro, who's going to nail it off of a maroon. And Northstars will get possession. This is Garuccio. Will look to Heffron in the middle. It bounces. Heffron hits it, and it's just going to roll out of bounds. Northstars just unable to get possession of that bouncing ball. CNS up 3-0 here in the first quarter. Just over 10 minutes going by here in this one. We thank you all for joining us here on the Northstar Network. This gets chipped forward and nails Heffron, and it will become, I believe it's Auburn ball, was the indication. Yeah, so it is going to be Auburn ball. That gets fired forward. Now it's sent back the other direction. Ferrone hits it forward. Ferrone playing back here in the absence of Carly Colvin, the other Northstar senior, who's currently out with an illness.
She did make the trip out to the game here today, yes. Killian.
She did attend the senior night ceremony. Always good to see. And I believe she's standing on the sideline.
I believe she's in that jacket there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure plenty of players on this field would love an excuse to be in a jacket right now. It is probably pretty cold out there.
Oh, yeah. We're out just for pregame, and that wasn't even full rain. You know what I mean? It was probably half of this of what we're getting right now. It was just a light sprinkle, and that was even cold.
Heffron got a stick on that. Northstar still trying to play. Now it comes out. That's Moreno, specifically Selena Moreno, who hits this up. It's intercepted again by Auburn. Opportunity from the side. Shot got blocked. And now we get a whistle, and it's going to be a corner as the Northstars are going to misplay that ball. And so our first corner of the game will go to Auburn. Now, Northstars, their corner defense has certainly provided some scares, particularly in the game against Baldwinsville on Monday. There were a couple of really close calls for Baldwinsville that resulted directly off of a corner. But we'll see here if their defense is able to stop Auburn.
And this a chance for the Maroons, down 3-0. 2:35 left to go, and
looking to shorten the deficit. That one was fanned on. Now the turnaround shot. That one goes over the net, and it'll become Northstar ball. That one got quite a bit of air on it. And so Auburn will believe here make or no, they won't. I thought someone was standing up to make a substitution. Nobody was. It was the coach. This gets fired up, picked up by the Northstars. Hit out. Here's Norman Lee. Already 2 goals on the day. Norman Lee will turn. She'll drive it up. Intended for Heffron. Heffron picks it up now from the side. Makes a move. She'll end up just firing this one forward. And it'll be played by Auburn. Or this one's going to be nearly saved, but the Maroons will get possession of this ball. 1:51 left in the first quarter. That one's driven up. It's going to be taken by the Northstars. Turnaround pass is going to be deflected and sent out. That was number 2, Stella Clary.
Looks like the rain is starting to lighten up a little bit, Killian. It's not as bad as we saw earlier.
Certainly should improve the field conditions, at least make it less slippery as we go on here. That pass intended for Heffron from Clary did not connect, and it will become Auburn ball. And there's another ball that's now rolled onto the field from somewhere. And now it's no longer on the field. A bit of odd sequence. That's fired across. Will be picked up now by the Northstars. Hit forward. That's going to be picked off and now sent forward by the Northstars.
Great find.
This is Van Beveren, already with a goal in the day to Normally in the middle. Normally turning, shooting, save made.
Man.
That's number 2 in goal for Auburn, but there's no number 2 on their roster, so I guess we'll never know who made that save.
The per usual Syracuse.com inaccuracies. Now with 30 seconds left, the Northstars looking to put something together.
Or the side that's sent to the middle. Normally shoots. That got blocked. Normally again, turning. Will shoot again. Nearly catches an Auburn player in the head with the stick. Now it'll be cleared out. 15 seconds left to go. And so CNS might try for one more. Sophie Normanley, number 5 for the North Stars, was able to bring that one in. Here's Clary. Fires it to the middle. Was intended for Moreno. It takes a deflection, bounces out. Final second will tick away. And that is the end of the first quarter.
So in the second quarter here, Killian, we will have a special guest with us in the booth. It's going to be Jeremy Palmer, Section 3 champion from the baseball team. He'll join us as our special guest for tonight's senior night. We'll be back.
Well, we welcome you back to the Northstar Network on YouTube, and little something special here to start off the second quarter. Northstar is leading 3-0 over Auburn. 2 goals from Izzy Normanley and 1 goal from Emma Van Beveren. But we do have a special guest here in the booth to start out the second quarter of action and go through the entire second quarter of action with us. This is Jeremy Palmer, one of the players on our baseball team who won the section last year. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Great to have you here in the booth.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. It's my first time on here.
Well, we'll periodically be asking him questions throughout this quarter. This is played by Ferrone. Ferrone hits it up. That's going to be nearly taken by, I believe that would have been, Gruccio, who was, that pass was intended for, ended up skipping up and bouncing out of bounds. We get a whistle here for something. Looks like probably improper ball placement. Yeah, because the North Stars are going to have to push this ball farther in. This is sent up, and it will remain CNS ball. Now, Jeremy, how would you describe your level of field hockey knowledge?
Slim to none. You know, this is like my only second game that I've ever watched before. I came to the Liverpool game where they had a pretty dominant game, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, what brings you here to this game today?
You know, I was kind of just working out at the new gym that we have down in the weight room, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come watch this game, and then Pilata brought me up here, and then
and here we are.
Here we are on the Northstar Network.
Now, Joey, I know there was a thing you wanted to ask. You wanted to ask Jeremy about. What was that exactly? I can't remember.
Well, yeah, Jeremy. So last, playing the Auburn Maroons here, and speaking of Auburn, you guys played Beeville in the quarterfinals there in Auburn. So North Stars, won the section last year, Section 3 champions, and you guys made it into the regionals. Unfortunately, fell short. But how are you guys going to prepare for next year?
So we already start Sunday practices and lifting Tuesdays and Thursdays. We just keep in mind that, we did lose 14-0 to Saratoga, which is really, we don't really want to talk about it, but we keep that in our back of our mind because we want to get back to the regional game and hopefully be in states next year. So back-to-back champions is definitely what we want.
This ball will roll out. It'll become North Star possession here. Just over 2 minutes gone by. Nothing really gone on so far. Ball will be taken from, I believe, the 25 is where it'll be placed. That'll be Mia Ferron to inbound it. Ferron fires his forward, takes his deflection up. It's played by Moreno. Moreno hits it to Garuccio. Garuccio to the middle. Heffron shoots and missed on that wide. Now, Jeremy, we do have a bit of a question here for you. Joey was telling me that there was a certain error you committed last year that he wanted to bring up on broadcast.
Oh, I didn't want to bring it up, but
Certain error.
Certain error.
This is Joey's words, not mine. This will be Northstar ball. They'll inbound it from about the 28. It'll be Sophie Normanley to inbound it. Normally from the side, hits it towards the middle. Still with it. Normally tried to get through another one. This is going to be played by Auburn. They try to bring it out. That'll be driven all the way down. This is going to actually go on goal. And nope. Well, that's going to bring up a certain rule that that I want to cover. As you can see there, the ball went into the net, but nobody reacted like it was a goal. And you know why? It is because you can only score a goal in field hockey from inside of the light blue arc, as that ball was driven from way back there. So that's actually going to be Abby Schultz in goal right now for the North Stars. Schultz just kind of watched that one go by because it's not going to be a goal, and it'll give the North Stars possession.
So about that error earlier, we were discussing it just a few seconds ago. That's why you didn't hear me or Jeremy on for a second. I don't know. I was a little confused there. Who brought it up, when, where, how, or why? But no, it wasn't Jeremy who had that error.
That'll be brought forward, sent to the middle, goes off of a Auburn foot. It'll bounce out of bounds. It'll be Auburn ball. Joey lying to me.
I thought you brought it up first, so
we'll never know. It's gonna be. This will be now part of Northstar Network lore.
I guess so.
There's many parts of the Northstar Network lore.
The legend of the made-up error by Jeremy Palmer that we have no clue who made it up.
Heffron steals that ball. This will be chipped to the middle. Goes off of a Auburn foot.
We're going to get a corner here?
We are not going to get a corner.
Oh, okay.
Infraction took place outside of the arc, so it'll remain Northstar ball. Fired in by Normanley. Normanley to Garuccio in the middle. Garuccio to Van Beveren. Van Beveren's got room. Fires! And that one did not make it through. Heffron was there to try to poke at that, but had three Maroons around her. Claire hits that to the middle. Moreno trying to make a play at that. It's going to bounce out. Now it'll become Auburn ball. 9 minutes left to go here in the second quarter of play. So far, North Star's goal scoring has been limited to just the first quarter. This will be driven forward, intercepted by CNS. Sent down by Ferron, picked off by Auburn. They will try to bring this forward. And this will make its way out of bounds, become Northstar ball, inbounded by Ferron. We get a whistle. Looks like Ferron illegally played that one in, so it'll be a redo. Joey, what have you seen so far in this quarter?
I mean, it's really been a lot of back and forth, although we haven't seen much by the Maroons offensively. I mean, it's just been a lot of shots on goal here for the North Stars. They're getting things going. They just haven't really found the back of the net yet, and they're in a good rhythm. Some good defensive stances by the Maroons, but the North Stars are in a rhythm, and we could definitely see them score here shortly.
Quite a few little infractions here from Auburn. CNS just been getting free hit after free hit. Ferron with it. will drive it forward, played by Moreno. Moreno to the middle, shoots one, that comes
Oh,
forward,
man.
and about 3 Northstars tried to get a play on that, but nothing was able to come of that. Now it'll be battled, and we will get a whistle, and Northstars will pick up their first corner of the game, and the Northstars corner game has certainly been one of their bright spots this year. It was just in the Beeville game this Monday that saw CNS score off of, not directly up the corner, but in the following scramble sequence that occurred. And so here we go. It'll be Ferrone to inbound it. To Sophie Normanley. Normanley shoots. Ferrone, it's loose down low. Can they find it? It'll bounce its way out. Now it'll be driven in again. Another save. Rebound comes out, and now we will finally get a whistle, and it'll become Auburn ball. Several North Stars in there with a whack at that one.
So I do have another question for Jeremy. So we were talking about kind of your team goals for next season, but do you have any personal goals for yourself anyway? Anything you're going to do to really build your presence on the mound and become, I mean, you've already got a great resume for yourself on the mound, but become even more dominant and get your team even further this year? Yeah,
so I've been working really hard. I have a lot of goals. I'm not going to say some of the goals that I have, but I do plan on committing soon in a couple of weeks. Which will be huge. And then I had a good year last year, so I want to be even better than I was. I finished with a 1.7 ERA, and my goal this year is to be below 1, which hasn't really happened in a long time in CNS history. So that's what I want. And then, but it's more about the team, what I can do to help the team get back to a back-to-back sectional championship, as I'm going to be one of our captains this year. And that's most important, is just being a sectional champion again.
It was chipped to the middle. Comes out. Now, Jeremy, in that sectional championship game, I believe it was CBA you guys played.
Yep.
What was the message, really, from your coach after that game? Like, going into regional play, what was the message?
The message was that we finally got it done, but we weren't done yet. And then we practiced really hard, but I just feel like Saratoga, we got to give it to them. I mean, they're a really good team. They're going to be a really good team this year. So, we have their number, and we just have to back it up this year. And we just came in there. I honestly feel like we didn't go in there with the right mindset. We thought it was going to be easier than we figured. And next year we got to come with a different mindset that we're going into regionals, not our section. And I think this year will be a different outcome.
Words of wisdom there from the pitcher. This will be fired in. North Stars did get a corner there during that sequence, however. They immediately committed a foot infraction. And so Auburn was able to take the ball out. This one will get deflected, and then it'll fly high into the air. It'll come back down where Renfrew is going to have to run back all the way to the 15. Fans on it. Now it comes up to Sophie Normanley. Normanley brings this up. Looking up. Tried to get it to Kyla Heffron. That one rolled by Heffron's stick. 4 minutes left to go. It'll be Auburn ball. 3:48 left to go here in this first half. North Stars lead 3-0. All 3 goals coming in the first quarter. Now here's Garuccio. Garuccio hits it to the middle. Intended for Van Beveren. Now it bounces out. Van Beveren shoots one. It goes off of somebody. Now it takes a bounce, and it's going to go off of a North Star foot. I believe that hit Van Beveren.
What a crazy sequence there for the North Stars with only a few minutes until halftime.
North Stars
a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, seeing us nearly able to put away their 4th goal there, but we're unable to eventually get that one by the goaltender. This bounces forward. Here's Leon. 3 minutes on the clock in the first half. Leon down to Heffron. Heffron plays it. Will try to make the move to the middle. Turns around, fires it forward. Played by Garuccio. Garuccio still on it. Intended for Van Beveren. And now another pass there. Van Beveren fanned on the shot. That was Mia Leon on the pass. But North Stars, great ball movement here throughout this entire first half. And it looks like the goalie is tying their shoe maybe, or had to fix their pad or something like that. Regardless, the ball will now get sent out, be played forward by Auburn, and the Maroons will take over. Now at the 45, they try to charge this one forward. It got tipped away. Bounces up. Here come the Maroons into the offensive end. Ferrone carries it forward. Ferrone sends this up. It'll be blocked away now by Auburn. They'll try to reverse hit this one up. Intercepted again by Ferrone, who will send it up. Intended for Heffron. This ball will bounce out. Leon tried to inbound that one. It was intercepted. First one fanned on, and it looks like it'll be a dangerous play. Will be the call there. And I believe just a 5-yard violation there was just called on Auburn. They got too close to the North Stars there during that free hit. Played forward, Heffron reaching for that. Gotta be careful she doesn't get a foul here for reaching around the Auburn defender. That one comes up. It'll be settled by Moreno. Moreno surveys her options. Looks up. That's going to be caught now by one of the North Stars. I couldn't read which number that was. Van Beveren from the side will turn around. Van Beveren still trying to find somewhere to go, but now we'll give it up. Shot comes in. That's blocked. Pangaro backhands wide.
Oh, man.
A reverse hit there attempt from Pangaro just does not go. And now North Stars will give possession back to Auburn. 1 minute left to go here in this first half, and a very successful half offensively for CNS. The rain has finally cleared out. Got some clear skies coming in now from the north.
Clouds are moving.
Yeah, they are ripping out of here. This will be fired in. Played along the side by Van Beveren. Comes back up, I believe. Yeah, still trying to figure out who that is. I believe that's number 18, Natalie Kernan. They're on the left side for the North Stars. Obviously, the 18 and the 10 look pretty similar. So it's hard to discern who's who. Now this is up to Heffron. Heffron makes a move, ends up losing it. Van Beveren hit it to the middle, it got blocked, and now it comes back the other direction. Sent up, and here comes Auburn trying to break out for maybe one opportunity before the half ends. 10 seconds left to go. Fires up, goes off of a...
Clock winding down, and that's going to do it for the first half.
Yeah, that will be our first half of play. North Stars lead 3-0 over the Auburn Maroons.
Now, before we do send it to halftime, I got one more question for Jeremy. Now, this is a little bit of a repeat from some of the other questions, but just kind of one final overall look. Jeremy, what's your big takeaway from last season, and what needs to change for the North Stars?
That we won for the first time in 10 years. You know, it was a very, it was huge in the program. And we wouldn't do it without Coach Bailey. You know, Coach Bailey was a big part of us this year. And, I mean, we were so close 2 years ago in the sectional final where we lost to CBA, so it meant even more to beat CBA this year.
To get that redemption.
And then now this year, hopefully we can repeat. But now we lost Corey Williams, who was a big first baseman. He's doing great things in college. We lost Landon Cook, who is now playing baseball at Lemoyne as well. Caden Kelfast, who's playing at OCC. So we did lose 3 big dogs this past year. But we have people that are going to step up that are younger, and we're returning a lot of good players that can help us this year, and we are very grateful for it.
Of course. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for joining us here in the booth. The North Stars, again, Section 3 champions last year, looking to go even further this year. And these North Star girls have gone on to play RFA in the Section 3 championship in the last 2 years and looking to finally get that victory. So thank you so much, Jeremy, for joining us. And we'll be back with about 8:30 left to go in this halftime break.
Second senior at 7:25.
We welcome you back here to the Northstar Network on YouTube. The weather has evolved into a nice, cool little, mostly cloudy environment here to start off the second half. Field's still probably a little wet. Northstar's leading 3-0 after one half of play. 2 goals from Izzy Normanley and 1 goal from Emma Van Beveren. One of the Northstar seniors just had a nice little senior video play here on the big screen out there for all of the Northstar seniors. Joey, what did you really see in that first half that got the Northstars this advantage?
Well, I mean, it all starts with the defense, Killian. And that just really dominated for the Northstars. We only saw a couple shots on goal, if that, for the Maroons in the first half. And then, you know, they just really dominated on defense, which gave their offense the ball. And they really knew how to set up plays properly and get the ball rolling. No pun intended. Or maybe there was a little bit of a pun intended there, Killian. But the Northstars just it started with the defense, which rolled over to the offense, and they're getting the shots off, and that's what the Maroons have been struggling with here, and that's what really contributes to that 0 on the scoreboard is the lack of shots on goal.
Northstar defense today been very solid. Faced 1 corner back in the first quarter. We're able to successfully defend it. This is intercepted, and now by CNS will be fired in, but this one will roll out of bounds, become Auburn ball. Under a minute gone by here in the third quarter of play. CNS leads 3-0.
That's some echo to it.
Yeah, for the very small, unlimited in size Auburn fan section here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium, they've certainly been loud supporting their team, as this one will go off of a Northstar leg and be played by Auburn. It'll be Tegan Hogan. Or never mind, it will not be Tegan Hogan. She gave that to one of the other Maroons. That's fired up, and it'll roll out of bounds. Possession back to CNS. This will be fired up. It'll get deflected. Goes forward. Takes a bounce down. Now flips up again. And now intercepted again. Northstars will try to bring this one forward. Picked up. Here's Van Beveren. From the side. Will turn. Still trying to shield the ball. And that's going to be Northstar ball as a bit of a reach around play there by Auburn. Calls the whistle to go. This ball's misplayed. Comes back out. Moreno on that one. That one got past Kernan. Comes back up to the point now. Moreno fires this one in. Northstars will take possession. It's Ferrone.
In these first 2.5 minutes, Killian, we've yet to look right, and that's just evident of the Northstars' defense and then their dominant possession on offense. And that's really what's giving them the opportunities, and it's another way of wording it here, Killian, why the Northstars have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Northstars, I mean, very solid performance in this game so far. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of. However, the second quarter had plenty of close chances. We're just unable to score. That pass there intended for Heffron was not successful. And now it'll go off of a Northstar foot, be played by the Maroons. Sent forward. That's going to get by the first line of defense. It'll go all the way back to Marley Renfer. Renford fires this one up. It's going to be intercepted. Leon and Garuccio try to get a play on that. It'll remain Auburn ball. 11:46 left to go here in this third quarter of play. It's fired in, intercepted. Now it comes out the other way. Be driven forward by Moreno. It'll roll down the sideline where it will go out and become Auburn ball. We'll get a substitution here upcoming for CNS. It's Gabby Garuccio getting ready to come in. That'll be fired forward, takes a deflection, and goes out of bounds. This comes forward, takes a deflection around, back pass, intercepted, sent to the middle. Here's Heffron, lost possession of the ball, and then it will make its way out of bounds. So Kyla Heffron there, opportunity for potentially a shot on goal. The Northstar 8th graders have played the majority of this game. Good to see the younger players getting in for some playing time. That's sent down low. Pangaro was on that one, but it'll make its way out of bounds. 10:28 remaining here in this third quarter. And really, Joey, this third quarter, it's been very, like, one-dimensional with, like, the Northstars just kind of bringing the ball up, losing possession or going out of bounds, FM taking it back and immediately giving up possession back to CNS, and then the cycle repeats.
Yeah, it's been really one-sided, Killian, both on defense and on offense. Northstars, well, like we already mentioned, you know, they're getting those takeaways, if you will. You know, once Auburn, you know, takes back possession like we see here, will be interesting to see if we get a rinse and repeat as we kind of do there. If the whistle's blown, but now the Northstar, you know, Auburn takes away from the Northstars. Northstars just take it right back, and then they try to make some moves, get some shots on goal, but Auburn just takes it away once more, and it's just a rinse and repeat.
Well, one thing the Maroons are doing, which is pretty interesting, is that they're keeping pretty much all of their players, including their forwards, all the way back. And that's really not helped the Northstar cause. That they've had to defend against more defenders than they normally would. However, that does come, obviously, with the downside of that. When Auburn does get the ball out, all of their forwards are now back in the defensive end, so they all got to rush out and risk tiring them out. Now, Auburn, they do have a pretty full bench, so certainly they have the room to make some substitutions if the need arises. But interesting strategy here from Coach Sarah Patain. This gets backhanded up, and it will be Auburn ball. 8:39 left to go in the third quarter. This is fired up, nearly intercepted, and it comes out the other way. Ferrone fires it up, comes up to Clary. Clary from the 45 will bring this in, sends it up to Heffron. Heffron with it. Heffron turns around looking for an option. Will make a move, flips it, or tried to flip it to Moreno, but it did not go. That's going to get blocked there by Clary. Sends it to the middle. Garuccio hits it down. It'll roll out and become Auburn ball. 7:51 left to play here in this third quarter. Reverse hit there, gets deflected off a Northstar stick. It'll come back to CNS as I guess it hit one of the Maroons after the fact. Substitutions being made here by Auburn. Moreno fires it to the middle, takes a deflection up. Now it's swiped at by Garuccio. Tried to hit that one towards the center, but it did not go. Goes off of a Northstar, and it'll become FM ball. Pass up is nearly intercepted. Now it's taken forward. And now it'll once again come back the other direction. Natalie Kernan getting ready to go in for CNS. from the sideline. 6:45 left to go here in the third quarter. This will get fired up, intercepted now by Moreno. Moreno to the middle. Tried to carry it through, got blocked. Now it comes up again. Opportunity, and the turf monster claims the victim. Then Heffron will take a shot at it, and it will bounce out of bounds. It'll remain Northstar ball, but the turf monster there, potentially saving a goal for Auburn.
Now, we already talked about it earlier, Killian. One of the Northstar's largest wins of their big win streak was that 3-0 victory versus Beeville. And if Northstars can score just one more and hold Auburn to 0, we're looking at their biggest win so far this series.
The goal nearly came right there, but that will bounce out of bounds. And, I mean, as you said, Joey, Northstars, their largest win this season came 3-0 against Baldwinsville. And, I mean, the way CNS has been playing, you'd think they'd have more goals by now, but just,
right?
Oh, that one gets sent into the stratosphere. Now it'll get knocked down by the CNS.
3 goals in the first quarter alone, Killian. Northstars kind of came a little stagnant in the second.
Garuccio making a battle for it. It'll make its way out of the Auburn end. We get a whistle, CNS ball. Hit forward, goes off of an Auburn foot, and it'll become a Northstar corner, their third corner of this matchup. 5:10 left to go. CNS here, bit of an opportunity to either try to get back on the scoreboard. So we will see what the play call from Coach Kennedy is. Kennedy certainly this season has a few different plays on corners. I don't really have the names for them down, but I do know one of them they just kind of hit it out to the closest person to who's inbounding it. In this case, it's Ferron. Ferron will hit it out, comes over. Garuccio fires, takes a deflection on the way in, it rolls in, they score! And I don't know who's going to get credit for this goal. There were so many Northstars there. It looks like it's somebody's probably a big milestone goal for them. We'll find out once Daryl White announces it. There are about 10 Northstars there. I believe it's Mia Leone.
But, Killian, it looked like another deflection there, another little bounce off of the foot of a Maroon. And
here, let's listen to the verdict here.
Mia Ferron.
It's Mia Ferron, so it's not Mia Leone, it's the other Mia Ferron. Ferron, her third goal on the season. Northstars lead this one 4-0. I mean, there was just so many Northstars there, you figure it was going to eventually bounce off one of them and go in.
Right.
This ball comes forward.
Once you get so much traffic in front of the net, Killian, it's almost
hit to the middle.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, it was nearly taken by Heffron, who wanted a shot but was unable to corral it. Ferron. Already with a goal in the day that's going to go off of an FM foot, and it is another CNS corner. Corner will be inbounded. I believe that's Mia Ferron.
So she capitalized on the last corner for the Northstars to give them their largest, it's not a victory yet, but at any rate it will be.
Thrown to the middle. That's Leon who shoots it. It got blocked on the way in. FM will try to drive it out. It's going to go off a Northstar foot, and Auburn will be able to get their way out. CNS leading 4-0. It's the most goals they have scored in a game all season, defeating their previous record of 3. CNS looking to now make this there, if I can find a sheet I was looking at. This one, CNS has not allowed a goal in over 10 quarters of play. Last goal they allowed was against FM back on September 29th.
And that was in that 1-1 tie, Killian.
Yeah, that 1-1 tie. Really, the overarching theme of that one was just that the FM goaltender was just playing terrific. And really, CNS could not get by her the whole game. And even in overtime, Northstars had plenty of opportunities, just couldn't solve the goaltending problem. Here's Kernan. Brings it forward. Kernan brings it into the offensive end. Makes a move. Kernan fires it to the middle. It bounces forward. Here's Garuccio. Oh, to the middle. Heffron turning. Will try to get a shot off now. It'll bounce out of bounds and become Auburn ball. And then, Joey, if there's one thing Auburn's done really well today, it's been they've been able to stop the North Stars quite often when CNS has gotten down to about like within the 5.
Yeah, I mean, their defense has looked a little shaky in some parts, but honestly, like you're saying, Killian, when it comes to other than that one that we saw, obviously, a lot of North Star bodies in the area, tough for that to be defended. But really, when it comes to defense in front of the net, Auburn's been pretty solid.
1:20 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Picked off by Garuccio on the free hit. Garuccio tried to rush forward. It took a bounce back. Here's Mia Leone. Leone turning. Will whack this up. That's going to be intended for Natalie Kernan. Will fly out of bounds and become Auburn ball. And Auburn, I think they've maybe only gotten into the North Star side of the field once this quarter.
If that, Killian, and honestly, they haven't even seen past the 30, I believe. So really, North Star's defense just continuing to be dominant.
Ferrone fires this up. That's played by one of the North Stars. Now comes forward. Here's Garuccio. Tries to bring it to the middle. Comes out Heffron from the side. Sends it to the middle. Shot! And that one was stopped there. Big save. Kyla Heffron looking for her first assist. That would have been Gabby Garuccio had that one bounced in.
Kyla Heffron also been taking a lot of shots tonight, looking for her first goal of the season as well.
Battling for this one down low. Now it'll make its way out. Hit to the middle. Intercepted again by I keep saying FM. Auburn. We get a whistle to be a corner. I believe on a corner situation, they will play through the buzzer. And yes, they will. So I believe it comes down to the official discretion on when the play is over, to when they blow it dead. So North Stars will extend the third quarter a little bit here, pick up a corner. An interesting formation here for CNS.
A little bunch formation going on around the 15. Got some players stacked up at around the 20.
Inbounded to Moreno's shot got blocked.
And that's
go
gonna
out
do
of
it.
bounds, and that will be our third quarter of play. CNS leading 4-0 at the break. We will be back here in a moment on the Northstar Network. Do not go anywhere. We're back here in the Northstar Network on YouTube for the fourth and final quarter of play here in this varsity field hockey matchup. North Stars currently lead the Auburn Maroons 4-0 through 3 quarters of play. 2 goals coming from Izzy Normanley, the North Star leading scorer. 1 goal coming from Emma Van Beveren, and 1 from Mia Ferrone.
So 2 out of the 4 seniors getting in on the action here. Or, sorry, 2 of the 3 seniors getting in on the action here tonight.
Yeah, 2, and it was actually the only 2 seniors that are actually playing in this game.
Right.
Carly Colvin out on the sideline currently with an illness. We hope she's better for sectionals, as that's coming up pretty soon here for the North Stars.
Right, just 2 home games left, including this one. So only 1 here at Michael J. Bragman Stadium left. That's next Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, that broadcast will be on KSM Productions, our friends here at the Northstar Network who will be doing that game, while Northstar Network will take over the volleyball game on that day. A little bit of collab action. 14:23 left to go here in this 4th quarter. We welcome Jeremy Palmer back on the broadcast. Our special guest has returned here for the 4th quarter. Now, Jeremy, what have you seen here in this game that has really just driven the North Stars forward?
Their offense. They have a really good tempo. I haven't really seen much of Auburn's offense. Liv Planty looks a little bored out there, which is a good thing. But our offense is has a really good tempo right now, and Coach K is doing a really good job.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't. Now, Joey, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe Auburn has a single shot on goal today.
No saves so far for Liv Planty, I can tell you that. So yeah, no statistical shots on goal yet for the Maroons. Now, yes, they have they got a couple attempts, if you will, but nothing that constitutes as a save for Liv Planty. Therefore, not a shot on goal for the Maroons. So a couple deflections, couple shots left or right of the goal, but nothing at the goal.
CNS, in their next matchup, they're going to head out to Rochester to take on Fairport. They played Fairport last year. I believe they lost, or at least our JV team lost. 12:57 left to go here in this 4th quarter of play. Auburn starting out with a little bit of offensive possession, which will be taken back by Van Beveren. Fires it up, intercepted, and it'll be driven down. And this one will not really be able to be played by literally anybody down there. This one's going to roll actually into the track. It's going to roll all the way through the track. And we'll see where this one ends up stopping. And
right.
that one's still going.
Looks like it reaches dead end.
Yeah, it's come to a stop just between I believe that's where the long jump is over there.
I think the long jump is on the other side.
So I'm not sure what that is. There's another little lane down there. 2 of the track features is where it stopped. To the middle, and that one's going to be kicked out by Planty. So North Stars, I don't know if they'll count that as a save.
Right.
But Planty is going to be able to get some action here in the 4th quarter. This ball's going to be intercepted. Auburn looking to spoil the North Star shutout. This comes to the middle. Play from the side, trying to get on this is CNS, intercepted and brought out the other way. Van Beveren from the side, that's poked out of bounds. It'll be CNS ball.
CNS's defense have been really stellar today.
And their defense, when they've needed to be called upon, they've certainly answered the call. That's going to be backhand to forward. Here's Garuccio.
Here's an opportunity here for Garuccio.
Garuccio has one defender to beat. Going to slam it off of the defender's foot. It'll give the North Stars a free hit.
Just outside of the circle there, so it's not going to be quite a corner. But
yeah, I believe she was trying to make a move, which just ended up being unable to actually get the move off and ended up whacking off of a Maroon.
But yeah, like Jeremy was saying about the defense for the North Stars.
Yeah, it's going to bounce out of bounds there.
But anytime the Maroons really find any momentum, any footing, and start to move the ball offensively, the North Stars, like you said, when they're called upon, when needed, the North Stars, they just forced turnovers, gave the ball back to their offense, back to themselves, if you will, because, not playing football here, no offense and defense, but, giving themselves the opportunity once again on offense.
That one bounced in the middle. It's gonna
That
have
one's
to be,
dangerous.
It's going to have to be played by the goaltender. Reverse hit there, did not go. Now it comes out. Moreno is knocked down. It'll be a corner for CNS. And now the North Stars, who have had pretty successful corners today, will look to add on to their total.
Unsuccessful in the last one, Killian, there that ended the third quarter. So we saw the clock expire, and then the North Stars played the corner. This time a different formation from the North Stars. You know, saw that little bunch didn't quite work out in their favor. So Coach Pat Kennedy going back to the drawing board here. Try something different.
Sophie Normally going to shoot it, deflected. It's loose in front, and now it'll come back. Reverse hit from Normally, shoot.
Oh,
Oops,
man.
and that goes wide.
That's where she's been deadly, Killian. All season, even tonight, that reverse hit from Normally, just a little bit right.
9:24 to play here in the fourth quarter of play. North Stars up big 4-0 here. This comes up. Be sent over by Moreno, and that one will head very far away out of bounds. That one will not be coming back. It'll roll over the track and make it out of the open gate.
A lot of lost balls here tonight.
Yeah, that one ended up actually going over to the secondary fence on the other side of the away bleachers that are used during the big football games. And
Speaking of big football games, we got the one coming up Friday. Utica Proctor taking a trip here to Michael J. Bragman Stadium to take on the North Stars.
always a good contest between those two.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I do have a bit of a story here while we have some time. A couple of years ago, I worked camera for the football team for the on-field, they're like on-field video review and stuff like that.
Oh.
But there was when they played Utica Proctor, this was at Michael J. Bragman Stadium, as that one's going to deflect and nearly go into Northstar's own net. And Auburn here spoiling my story. But anyways, so this game, it's raining the entire game. And I look back on the stats, and there were 12 fumbles.
Wow.
In total that were lost.
Between the two teams?
Between the two teams. So the effect of the rain is certainly much more noticeable, I would say, in football than it is in, per se, field hockey.
Now, Killian, weatherman and all, you want to be meteorologist, and you know, you're giving us some of the weather updates for tonight. Do you know what's the weather looking like for Friday night's game?
For Friday night's game, to be honest with you, I have been drowning in homework, so I have not looked.
That's all right.
That's part of the experience taking numerous AP classes.
I was in that same boat in my junior year, so don't worry, it gets easy senior year as long as you don't take all the hard classes. Although you have to take AP Calc for meteorology, so.
I do, yes. That's not looking forward to that. 7:09 left to go here. Jeremy, what would you say your hardest class is?
AP Stats right now.
AP Stats? Yeah, I've heard that one can be difficult. That's going to fly into the air. Goes over a Northstar. Played around from the side, sent forward, intercepted, and brought out the other direction. Here come the North Stars. This gets fired up, takes a deflection through. Van Beveren tried to get that one to go. Now it's played by Kernan. Kernan hit that forward, or was intended for Van Beveren. Takes a bounce. Renfer makes this one go to the other side. Now this one will fly out of bounds. .6:24 to go. This gets hit, takes a deflection forward, and here come the North Stars in the offensive end. Swing and a miss initially. Second pass will go down on the field, and it'll be played by CNS. It's Garuccio. Has Moreno with her. Garuccio for Moreno.
Oh,
this
man.
comes to the middle. Can the goalkeeper get to it? Goalkeeper will end up.
The North Stars keep it in, though.
Yeah, goalkeeper retreated back to her own net, and now we'll get a whistle Auburn ball. 5:54 to go here in this one. North Stars lead at 4-0. Gets fired up. Bounces. It's going to be played. A good play there by Auburn to knock that one down. Ferone steps up. Clary hits it forward. Intercepted now by Auburn, but it'll be taken right back by CNS off of a free hit. Heffron tried to get them the Garuccio. Pass was off the mark, but we will, I believe. Yeah, no, it won't be a corner. It'll be a Northstar free hit. Sent to the middle. That's going to be played now by Garuccio. Battling for that in the center. That one did not go. Backhanded up now. Opportunity. This will come out. Kernan fires it back in. Goes off of a Auburn stick. And the Maroons will clear this one to the side. And it will make its way just out of bounds. CNS ball. 4:44 left to play.
I mean, here's evidence of that sort of red zone defense, if you will, Killian, for the Maroons. They've just been on lockdown mode for a good majority of the game when it comes to some of these closer opportunities for the North Stars. Now, yes, the North Stars have been able to find the back of the net on some.
Garuccio there, a shot got deflected. It goes wide. It'll be Northstar ball.
But yeah, the North Stars have been able to find the back of the net, obviously, 4 times tonight, but a lot of those on some longer shots. So when it comes to close proximity opportunities for the North Stars, the Maroons have done a pretty good job shutting them down on those.
Our Stars will pick up another corner here. We'll see what head coach Pat Kennedy calls for his play this time around. Most recent 2 attempts have been unsuccessful. 3:40 left to go.
As they say, Killian, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So maybe we'll see if Coach Pat Kennedy goes back to the basics, and we'll see if he goes for a similar approach, Joe.
Oh, I guess it was not a corner.
All right. They lined up looking like a corner there.
Yeah, Auburn put on the mask that they wear in case of a stick coming up during a corner, but I guess ultimately they decided not to go through with one. Leone comes in the game for the North Stars. Coming out out is Gabby Garuccio. It'll be Auburn ball. 3 minutes left to go. North Stars trying to nurture this 4-0 lead. It's bounced over. Intercepted by Moreno. She'll bring it forward. It was off of a Auburn foot, and it'll come back. Moreno immediately brings it forward. Pass intended for Van Beveren did not go. Auburn will try to whack this one around. Goes off of a... was played illegally somehow by one of the Maroons. Now comes up. Taken by Van Beveren. Down to the corner. Looking to try to find someone in the middle. Van Beveren up to Kernan. That was just out of reach. Ferrone was there to try to force that one back to North Star possession, but Auburn able to run away with it. And now it comes back. Here's Moreno from the side. Moreno turns, shoots one. Got deflected, and it will bounce away. Played on the side. Taken by Clary. It was off of a foot, and it'll be North Star ball. Just under 2 minutes left to go. You get a whistle, and it'll be... This time it'll be a corner. 1:36 left. CNS looking to maybe make it 5-0. This is their largest margin of victory so far this season, if this holds. And also the most goals they've scored in one game for CNS. Sent in. Sophie Normanley now hits it around. Van Beveren shooting, deflected. They score!
Oh, goal!
Oh, we'll see. We'll see who they credit this one to. There's a lot of jumping going around. I don't know who ended up getting that.
We'll get the confirmation from the great Daryl White.
The legend of Daryl White, as we wait for him to confirm who scored that goal.
I heard Van Beveren with the assist.
So let's see. Get a whistle. It'll be North Star ball. We were looking at Daryl in the other booth, waiting for him to go over to PA. He's currently trying to confirm who got it. We did hear that Emma Van Beveren was credited with an assist. So that'll bring up her assist total to 2 on the season.
17 seconds left. And
this is hit to the middle. It will bounce nearly out, and then it will become Auburn ball. Final 3 seconds will tick off. Driven downfield, intercepted by the North Stars, and that's how this one will end. CNS. And that's
Cece Moreno.
Selena Moreno, who will pick up a goal there. So a little late on the goal there from Daryl White, her second goal of the season. Her first one came against Johnstown in their first game of the year, but that will do it. North Stars take down Auburn 5-0 for their 3rd consecutive shutout victory. Each of them, their 3rd consecutive shutout victory in their last 3 games. They have now scored 7 and allowed 0 goals against. Joey, what did you see in that game that really drove that one to North Star's favor?
I mean, everything was working right for them. Defense, creating turnovers, getting the ball, giving them opportunities on offense. They had, Jeremy was talking about it earlier, they had great tempo. They had great ball movement, great control, and that's some of the earlier games in the season the North Star struggled with was control. And this one definitely a big key factor in the North Star's victory, and that was the control, the tempo of their offense, and really taking advantage of some of their best players. Izzy normally with an incredible shot, getting 2 tonight. So really they took advantage of their players, and they took advantage of this 0-11, now 0-12 Maroons team.
Well, with that, we will head off air here on the North Star Network on YouTube. CNS takes down Auburn 5-0 here from Michael J. Bradman Stadium, their largest margin of victory and most goals scored in a game this season. We will see you next time here on the North Star Network on YouTube, and until then, saying goodbye.